Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. We're glad you all could be with us. Also, those joining us through iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcasts. We're glad you all could be with us as well. Well, this past year has been difficult for all of us, especially us adults, but it's been a difficult year for young people as well that have been living under pandemic conditions now for more than a year. GenYouth, the nonprofit organization, has just released the results of a new national survey. It's called The Impact of COVID-19 on Teens 1 Year Later, and it really shows that this generation is really highly stressed, but also in many ways feel like they're ill-prepared for what's ahead. Here to talk to us more about the survey, we're excited to welcome Alexis Glick to our program. Alexis is the CEO of GenYouth. We're going to talk to her not only about the results, but also what all of us can do to be able to help our teens today. Alexis, thank you so much for the time.
Oh, well, thank you so much. It is an honor to be with you.
Well, Alexis, when I was on the website, genyouthnow.org, the thing that struck me before I started looking at the survey, I love the fact that it says about young people they are resilient but far from unscathed. So tell us about the new survey, Alexis, and why you thought it was important to do it now.
You know, that is, it's just so well put. Thank you so much for saying that. You know, the reality is that, you know, kids have this unfettered ability to just sort of snap back. But the truth of the matter is what they have experienced over this course of this last couple of years is simply, you know, it's not just life-changing, but sadly, for many, they have just lost the most important years of their lives. And so for us at GenYouth, as you referenced, our role is to create healthier school communities. We do that in partnership with America's Dairy Farmers and the National Football League through our flagship program, Fuel Up to Play 60, in which we support 40 million kids daily. And so what we did is at the start of COVID, we immediately wanted to see how kids were doing because we didn't feel their voices were being heard. And one of our key priorities is lifting up the student voice. And so what we did is we surveyed teens about 6 weeks into COVID, and then we went back a year later with teens ages 13 to 18 to see how they were coping with the COVID-19 reality a year later. And frankly, the results are really, really sobering.
So to that point then, Alexis, one of the things I noticed too is that, I mean, at the very top of the site it mentions that 83% of middle and high school students surveyed claim to be coping well. However, they are far from unaffected. What did the results tell you about where America kids are right now?
You know, the reality is I'm a mother of 4 kids, and while I know what I've had to deal with every day in terms of supporting my kids or the missed opportunities or the missed access to sport or seeing their friends, the thing about the survey is that what we found is that 3 out of 4 teens say the pandemic has impacted their academic readiness. And what that really translates into is their confidence, right? Their confidence has been marginalized. And half of teens are reporting that their social and emotional well-being has been compromised. No surprise there. 4 out of 10 feel they've been isolated from other people. But 56% of them say they have no control over their lives. And almost a third of them are worried about their family's long-term financial hardship. So the reality is that kids right now, the fears have really permeated all areas of their lives: academic, financial, social, and frankly, their mental health and well-being.
Yeah. You know, I think, and I think too, Alexis, what I love about the work that GenYouth is doing is it makes this real. I know we hear these numbers, we hear these stats sometimes, and we sometimes become numb to it. But one of the things that was on the website is what a Vermont high school educator said, that in talking about the survey results, that our high school kids are really struggling. They're falling apart. And I think when we think about that, and we've been talking, of course, so much this year about the health risk, but I think, you know, this survey really shows the psychological, you know, risk that also happens What about for yourself? You mentioned being a parent yourself, Alexis. What kind of rose to the top for you as the most concerning things from the survey?
It's the fact that all facets of their life have been impacted. That to me is the big calling card that we need to pay attention to. Oftentimes when a kid experiences bullying or they didn't perform as well on a test, they've got this incredible safety net and support in the school building that helps them snap back. But they've been isolated, and this has truly permeated every area of their lives. So I think, number one, we've got to grapple with what is truly a pending mental health crisis, right? Because if you're a parent, you're worried about your kids. So if you're an employee, if I'm an employer, I'm paying attention to this. Because as we head back into September and more schools go back into session, the reality is we got to make sure our kids feel safe, they feel confident, and that they don't feel that they've lost critical learning opportunities. And the reality is they have. So how do we catch them up? The second thing is preparedness. They're concerned about their ability to succeed. They're worried about their ability to succeed in college. They're worried, 25% of them were worried about lost scholarship opportunities. 20% of them were worried about gaining admissions. 22% of them are worried about getting a job they need. So the reality is it's a cry for help, and we need to stop, listen, and work together to figure out how we're going to support them.
Yeah. So, Alexis, what can we all do then? Since we all have a part in this, what can we do to help our teens?
Well, the first thing is get them involved. As a mother, I can tell you the reality is when you tap into their minds and their brains, great things happen, and you help boost their confidence. If you're a family that's facing financial hardship, what can the teen do to contribute? That's critical. Number two, the summer is an opportunity to catch up. So how do we give them back the confidence? One of the things I've done is I've been working on some large strategic projects, and I've engaged high school and college-age kids in being a part of that strategic dialogue. Their minds are incredibly fertile. Let's bring them into the dialogue and boost their confidence in the process. Get kids moving. Get them outside, back on the field, back on the court. Use college-age kids who are coming home to mentor them. A lot of college kids can't get a summer internship. We'll connect with them in the community to find ways to get kids active or have them tutor. And really, at the end of the day, our kids are dependent on our teachers, and our teachers are our frontline workers, and they have been through the ringer. They have not had a minute's break. They will not have a minute's break this summer because they're helping kids catch up. Let's find ways in the community to support our educators, which are our frontline workers, and ensure that they have the resources that they need to thrive and succeed, because if they can thrive and succeed, our schools will succeed and our kids will succeed.
It's a challenge, but definitely work that all of us can be a part of. Alexis Glick, everyone, has been our guest, the CEO of GenYouth. I invite you guys to take a look at the survey and the action that they're doing at genyouthnow.org. Again, that's genyouthnow.org. Alexis, thank you so much for this valuable information. I really appreciate the time today.
Thank you so much. It was lovely joining you, and thank you so much for sharing this story.
Hey, glad to do it. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.